What do you look forward to most coming back to the UK?
I always have the same answer, and everyone's like, really? But I always say beans on toast.
What?
Exactly. That's everyone's answer.
Hi guys, I'm Ray and I'm joined by the lovely Ella May, and we are here for Enemies in Conversation series. First of all, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What does it feel like to be back in London? That must be exciting.
It is exciting. It's been a while. It feels good. The weather's not bad, which was a plus. I was like really scared. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm gonna have a week full of rain. I could feel it. But it hasn't rained once since I've been here.
Yeah,
so
I think we're in the middle of a heat wave, actually, supposedly.
I was like, heat wave? It's been nice. I don't know if I call it a heat wave, but did the weather say it was a heat wave?
Yeah, well, heat wave for UK.
English style, yeah. Okay, I'll take it. It's better than rain.
Yeah. So I've always wanted to know though, like obviously you've been away from London for a while, but does it still feel like home coming back?
Yeah, it does. In a way, it does feel like home because my family are still here. A lot of my childhood friends are still here, and there's like obviously I know how to navigate and stuff, so it still does feel like home. But as like home where I feel like I can like obviously I have my car and everything, I definitely feel like that's America.
Fair. What do you look forward to most coming back to the UK?
I always have the same answer, and everyone's like, really? But I always say beans on toast.
What?
Exactly. That's everyone's answer. But because American beans are different, they use like a barbecue. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I just didn't see that one coming.
No one ever
all.
expects it, but I'm a sucker for some beans on toast. Like, and the beans in America just aren't the same. The bread is also not the same. They're like American bread is really sweet. I've never found a bread that like matches English bread. So even if I was to like, because there are some English shops in America, you can get beans if you want to at extortionate rates, but you can get them. But even so, it's not the same because the bread is not the same. So every time I come home, the first thing I do is get some beans on toast. Very English of me.
Fair enough. Do you know what? Like when it comes down to your music and kind of being, I guess, the poster person for going off and making it in the US.
Yeah.
I guess you're probably the first person that a lot of people think of.
Yeah.
So is that something that you ever consciously think about?
Not really, I don't necessarily, I don't wake up and be like, oh, I'm the poster child. I do feel grateful though that like people recognize me in that way, and I think at first I was kind of a little bit worried that people would think I just like forgot about England when everything first started happening. I was just like, uh-oh, I need to make sure, everyone knows exactly where I'm from, because I didn't want it to seem like I just
left.
Yeah, and just forget England. But I also went to high school in New York, so I feel like my life in general has just been like transatlantic. So yeah, I don't really think about it, but it's a nice little thing to think about now that you've made me think about it.
Fair enough. Being the person that did move and did find that success, do you think R&B does have a place in the UK?
100%. Yeah. What do you think?
Before
I explain, what do you think?
I definitely think it does,
Yeah.
but I think we definitely have a long way to go.
100%. I think R&B, even in America, still has like a little bit of a way to go. Not sound-wise, but I think it's just not. It's not a super mainstream genre the way like rap, obviously, or pop is. But in England, yeah, we're definitely behind. But I do think that we're making progress. I do think we definitely have a long way to go. But I think there's enough amazing artists, and I think that's everyone's starting to realize that a bit in the R&B genre, like female or male, that are from England that are able to either come stateside and do their thing, or even here. And I think people are becoming more aware of that. So that makes me excited, because I think that's what everyone's wanted for a long time.
Yeah.
But I don't think anybody really kind of knew how to navigate that situation. And I think more doors are being opened. So yeah, it's an exciting time.
It's funny that you mentioned that, particularly with pop, because I don't know whether you saw it, but with the Brits.
Yes, I
did.
Like
the pop and the R&B category,
yeah.
Obviously putting them together, and then essentially no R&B acts being nominated. It's like, how did you feel about that as an R&B artist?
I actually spoke in another interview, actually like maybe it was like right after the Brits, with DJ Ace about this, because I was really actually just confused at first, because I was like, how does this make any sense? I feel like I feel like there were two ends of the stick on this one. One end was like, well, I don't ever actually remember there ever being any recognition for R&B at the Brits. So maybe this is a plus because at least it's there. But then on the other end, I was like, but it's not really fair that we should just be like, at least it's there.
Yeah.
We definitely deserve our own category. It's not, I don't think it's like realistic to even think that in England especially, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the Brits are based on like charting and stuff, right?
Yeah.
So especially if we're taking into consideration charting, like putting pop against R&B, there's never ever any chance that an R&B artist
Can be on equal
is
footing.
It's almost impossible. So I definitely like looked at it and was just like, I want to see the positive in it because I don't want to be negative Nancy, but like at the same time, I think this was just done as a like, let's be inclusive type of thing, and I think it's appreciated that we were there, but I definitely think there's a long way to go with that because I don't think it was fair at all. And I don't think any other genre gets treated like that either. I know grime used to, but I think grime is definitely a little bit further than it used to be. But yeah, I think we'll get there, but we've got some work to do.
Okay, so putting a positive spin on things.
Yeah.
Who are some like UK R&B artists that you're kind of feeling at the moment?
I love Jack James.
Okay.
He came on tour with me when I toured in 2019, so that was really fun. He's one of my really good friends. I just got introduced to Bella. Really like
Love
Bella.
her.
Yeah. Tiana Major 9, of course. Love her. I was so happy that she got to open for Jasmine in the States. I was just like, yes, we got some, like, it's slowly transitioning. And I think her, like, vocally, she's incredible. Sinead Harnett, I think she's
Love
incredible.
her.
Yeah, and she's stateside now also. I see her actually quite a lot. But yeah, I think that was not all females. I was about to say, was that all females?
No, we had Jack James.
Yeah, Jack James. But yeah, no, I think it's just really an exciting time for UK R&B right now.
For sure. So, something I've always wanted to ask, right? Especially with artists who have like loads and loads of like monthly listeners, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you look into your Spotify and you see like 6 million people listen to you monthly, how does that make you feel? Because I can't even conceptualize that many people in a room. Like,
yeah, I actually can't conceptualize it either. So it's quite hard to actually like when I think about it. And you're right. When you look at it, it's just like I try and like envision that amount of people. And I genuinely can't. I don't think I've ever seen that many people at once.
Right.
Like, so it's quite wild to think about, but I'm just grateful. I think that's an amazing, I love that Spotify do that also, because it's just another aspect, I guess, that like other platforms don't do, but it gives you a somewhat visual, because I can't visualize it, but a somewhat visual. And it makes me feel appreciated. It's a really good feeling.
So then you kind of log in and you see that your debut album has like almost 6 billion streams.
It's
which
insane.
Is absolutely insane.
It's insane.
So like going into your next album, kind of knowing that you've had that success with the first one, what's your mindset going into that creation process?
Oh, everything that you could think of was literally going through my mind. It was like, there was excitement, and I hadn't been in the studio for a while because I toured all of 2019. So in 2020, when I first started the album, it was like, I haven't done this in a while. Like I had to really like, connect again to the studio. But I was feeling a lot of different emotions. Some were great and I was excited and I was like ready to go, ready to be back in the studio. But then there were days where it just like wasn't working and I was just like, then feeling the confusion. What do I want to say? What do I want to sound like? But I think with art especially, when you get to in your head and you start asking those questions over and over again, that's when you start to just, when you start overthinking anything, you can't actually create to your full potential, in my opinion. So I really had to just like hone it in and really be like, calm down, relax, stop putting pressure on yourself. Because luckily for me, in my situation at 10 Summers, and with Interscope, nobody pressures me to be like, we need this, we need that. I get a lot of creative control and I'm really grateful for that. So I was like, stop putting the pressure on yourself, because there was no one coming to me saying anything, they were just, this is your recording process. Do what you want to do, we'll regroup and listen to it and go from there. So I really just had to like calm myself down. And once I did that and kind of, found my rhythm and figured out what I wanted to sound like and speak about, from there it was really fun.
Yeah.
But I just had to get to that point first, which was quite hard. It was more difficult than it was with my debut album.
That's interesting,
Yeah.
actually. Looking at the title of your album, and that's something I really want to get into,
Yeah.
because I'm thinking, Ella's about to tell us about some feelings. So,
That's what I always do. That's what I love to do.
so yeah, let's get into your writing process. So what was it like to kind of create, and kind of what sort of headspace were you in creating?
Yeah. Heart on My Sleeve was literally like the whole recording process, start to finish. If we're talking about mixing and mastering, everything was 2 years. So it was quite a long time. It was during the pandemic, so some of that was due to, you know, having to stop and start because stuff shutting down and reopening, etc. But my writing process was pretty much the same as it was with my debut album. I think just me being older, like figuring out and finding out more stuff about myself as a woman, as an artist, and just living in, like, you know, 2019 I toured for the whole year, being able to see different parts of the world and like experience different things that I hadn't when I was recording my debut album at, you know, 20, 21, 22. I think I was just seeing things a lot differently. And when I went into the studio, it was really just like my life in real time, and it was almost like therapy. It was like writing a diary entry and just like exactly what I was feeling. And, you know, I love to write about love and relationships. That's my favorite thing to talk about. So I think just really being able to like dig deeper and give like a little bit more of myself, because I'm very like, you know, I keep myself to myself a lot. So I think I wanted my fans to feel a little bit more connected. To me as the person on this album.
I love that. So with this album, right, what collab would you say you're the most excited for us to hear?
I
Because
can't
there's some
pick.
interesting ones on there. Like,
Do you know what? They all serve a different purpose, which is why I'm actually, you know, I'm just so excited about having Roddy, Lucky, and Lotto on the album. I think my debut album didn't have any rappers. It was 3 singers that were featured. So I definitely was like, okay, I definitely at least want to have 1 rapper on this album. And yeah, they all serve a different purpose. I think 2 of which are slow songs. One is like it's kind of slow, but it's like a mid-tempo. But they're all completely different, and they're all about love, but they're all different concepts in love. And I think also, didn't say with Lotto, I think it's definitely a song, like the sound of the song is not anything that we've actually heard her on before, which made me really excited because she killed her verse. And I definitely don't think it's what anyone expects, which that's what makes me excited. And with Lucky, me and Lucky have been working together for years, so now to finally have something that's like a collaborative, me and him, I'm just really excited, and I'm just a huge fan. The great part about this, I'm a huge fan of all 3 of the artists that are on my album, and I'm very much, like, I like to work with people who I'm a fan of and I can have like a proper conversation with. And if I can get in the studio and do it in person, that's always better than sending stuff over the internet. But I'm really excited, and it makes me excited that they wanted to be a part of it. That's always like when you're a fan of someone and they're a fan of you back, that's always a great feeling. So.
well, speaking of people that you're fans of,
Yeah.
J. Cole.
Yes.
So I know you've been talking about being a fan of him for pretty much ages now. And then there was a picture that resurfaced with you guys in the studio. So what was that like?
Yeah, I think, honestly, I've wanted that to happen for so long, so I was just so excited that it was happening. And Cole really takes me back to like my high school years and my college years. And it's just super nostalgic to me, even though he's like, you know, a current rapper. So I'd spoken to him on social media before. I'd met him a couple years ago, but I'd never actually been able to get in the studio or sit down with him. And he's somebody that I also just always wanted to just be able to pick his brain. He's a very interesting person to me, aside from loving his music. So how did it even come about? I think, I had a song that I wanted him on for the album, and my manager reached out to his manager because they know each other, and they were like, yeah, he'd love to, and whatever else. But I was also like, it might not happen. You know, I was trying to just be realistic and not get my hopes up. But then it actually happened. We organized it. I flew to where he likes to work in his studio. And the 2 days that I was there, we did make music, but a lot of it, like I said, it was just us having an actual conversation and just speaking about a whole bunch of different things. And it was really cool for me because like I was saying before, like he's actually the person that, or the stuff that he raps about and the stuff that or the type of person that he seems to be on TV or wherever else. He's actually that person when you sit down and have a conversation with him, and I think it was super cool because it was actually like he has a studio in his house, so for him to allow me even into that space, I think is like, you know, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people I don't want in my house, you know what I mean? So
it's very personal.
Yeah, and it was really cool. We had a bunch of musicians there, just playing stuff, and we were all just like kind of like vibing, but we did make music, and I love it. It's not on the album, and I know everyone's like, "Where's the J. Cole feature?"
Will we hear it?
It's not on this album. It's not on Heart on My Sleeve. But I'm pretty sure Cole and I will get back in the studio, and one day we just wanted to make sure we did it right, and that was the first time we were working with each other and kind of like, you know, feeling stuff out. So I'm sure it will happen one day. I'm very positive of that because we had a great time. But yeah, that was a dream come true for me, honestly.
So Cole won't be on the album.
No.
But I know you've also been in the studio with Pharrell. Will
Yes.
that be on the album?
Oh my God. Do you know what's so funny about this question? So the photo that I put up, it was that, because it was in the same week that I worked with Pharrell and then worked with J. Cole, and I was trying to like get my head around everything because I was like, this has been an insane week. Like, how does this happen? And when I posted the pictures, my manager was like, why did you do this? Like, you know, the records aren't finished, blah, 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 like just obviously from a manager point of view.
Yeah.
But I was just like, you know, this was just an amazing week for me. I just wanted to share that. And the Pharrell records also, they didn't make the album either, but not because I don't love them or love Pharrell. Of course I do. But I'm very much like a storyteller in my albums. And, you know, sonically and conceptually, but sonically more so, speaking about the stuff that I did with Pharrell, it just wouldn't have fit in the album. But needless to say, my career is just getting started. There's going to be loads of more music that I'm going to put out, and I definitely want those songs, all of them, the Cole songs and the Pharrell songs, to see the light of day someday. So we just got to be patient. I'm saying that to myself too. I'm like, we got to be patient.
So in addition to the album, you're also returning to performing very, very soon.
Yes,
Are
I
you
am.
excited about that?
I'm so excited. I think performing and being on stage and being able to share that moment with my fans is just one of the best feelings, like of all of it. Like, I love to be in the studio and I love to create, and I love to, you know, be able to travel the world and meet different people and experience all these different things. But there's just something about being on stage that's so unmatched. And I think with the pandemic and not being able to do it, and, you know, it's not really until something gets kind of taken away from you that you realize how much.
Value,
yeah, and I've always loved performing and I've always known how much it meant to me. But I feel like it actually just not even being an option really, really, really showed me how much I love it, and I've missed it so much, and I'm really, really excited to be back on stage.
So your next show is going to be the Strength of a Woman
Yes.
Festival?
Yes.
So yeah, how are you preparing for that at the moment?
Oh my gosh, Mary J. Blige, the first year of her Strength of a Woman Festival, all female lineup. I think right after my album drops, I think it's just perfect timing, and I was just honored that Mary wanted me to be a part of it. And just a part of such a strong female lineup, and a festival that like is all based around women, and the strength, obviously it being called a Strength of a Woman, but just like female bosses. I think that's amazing to be a part of, and I can't wait for it to happen. I'm really excited.
Why do you think it's important for festivals like that to actually exist?
I mean, representation.
Yeah.
Like in every aspect, when we're talking about race, when we're talking about sexuality, when we're talking about women, men, everything. I think it's just being able to go places and feel celebrated and feel appreciated, no matter what it is, in every aspect of life. I think is really, really important. And those are the things that you never forget. Like you always remember when you go somewhere that, because it hasn't been a thing for a long time, especially, I feel like now it's, you know, the very first stages of women really, really being appreciated especially in the music industry and in any industry. When it comes to the arts too, you know, it's a male-dominated industry. So I think just being able to have that, and the camaraderie too, because I think a lot of the time they always try and put women against each other. So to be able to create our own narrative and be at a festival with a whole bunch of different women, and I'm sure I'll be watching everyone else's set, and everyone else will be watching mine. Like, I don't think it will be like, you know, we show up and we go. Like, it will definitely feel like a family thing, because
Yeah.
that's what Mary also is. She's just that type of woman, and I'm really excited for it.
Okay, so finally, when you were last here, you were
Yes.
talking about like one of the major things that you wanted to do was to win a Grammy, and you've obviously gone on and done that.
Yeah.
So kind of what is your next milestone of success? Like what does success look like to you now? What's
Do you
next?
know what? Success to me at the time when I said I wanted to win my Grammy looked very different. I was a lot younger, and I think a lot of things meant a lot more to me at that time than they do now. And don't get me wrong, my Grammy is still one of the things that I'm most proud of, and all the other awards I have. But I don't think there's anything that I'm proud of more than being able to, like I said, to like go and tour and like meet people and really experience and have conversations with people where they tell me like I've changed their life, or a song has really helped them through something, or that to me, and maybe it was because I didn't really have that before, so I didn't know that was even like possible. And as much as I've been inspired by people, I guess it wasn't a thought that I could inspire people in that same way. But now I always think about it probably more than once a week, and I'm just like, I really just want to inspire people the way that I've been inspired. And that's really, at this point, what success means to me, if I'm able to inspire people in the way that I was inspired. And there's a lot of people that have inspired me and still inspire me to this day. So, yeah, I just want to keep being able to inspire people. I love getting the recognition too, of course, you know, like, but it's just not the be all and the end all at all.
I love that. I think that's a beautiful place to close. So thank you so much for speaking.
Thank you for having me.